guys, welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Healthy Girl Era episode 2. I do just want to start by saying that I have changed my microphone and I'm really sorry about the audio on the previous episode. I don't know, I'm using a different microphone basically, so I've tested this out and it sounds a lot better, so I really hope that the audio is going to sound a lot better in today's episode. I hope everyone is well. I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm filming this on a Sunday. It is so cozy today. I don't know why. I feel like this weekend has just turned. Like, while I was getting ready this morning, I put on a Christmas film. I've been shopping for Christmas decorations. Like, I'm well and truly ready, basically. So I'm so excited. As you can see by the title for today's episode, we're going to be talking all things about my glow up journey. Now, as you guys might have seen, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you will know that I've come a long way, okay? And a lot of people that meet me, that knew me from years ago, meet me and they say, oh my gosh, like, you've completely changed, because I have. And I get so many questions on how I did it, like basically everything, what I'm like now, what I was like before, and that kind of thing. And it's genuinely what I'm so passionate about. And if this episode helps you, or if it's just interesting, because I find it so interesting when someone's been through a big transformation, because for me, mine wasn't just about weight loss. Obviously, when you look at 2 photos of me, one of the first things you notice is, well, you lost a lot of weight, but the comments that I honestly get the most is, wow, you're glowing now. And that's why I use the word glow up. I find it a bit of a cringe word, but I do genuinely believe that it just encapsulates everything that I've been through, because I genuinely have got my glow back. Because for a few years, like, she lost it. So yeah, I'm so excited to talk through this today. Like, this is like gonna be one of my favorite episodes, and I thought I would do it at the beginning because it just sets the scene so nice for the rest of the podcast episodes and the rest of this channel, when you know where I've come from, because it can be so easy to look at someone giving out advice and think, well, you've always been like that, you've always had it easy, you've always ate healthy, been fit, that kind of thing. Guys, like, I really haven't. I'm sure I'll put some photos on of what I look like before. And again, this wasn't about looks, and I don't want to emphasize that this is all about looks, because it's not. And you'll see when I go through, I've got like down my notepad of everything that I want to talk to you about, and it's really not about looks, because it was such a change of everything in my life, and I just became the best version of me, and I'm so passionate about helping other people do that. And there are some clear categories of like how I did that, so I really wanted to run through them today, how I did what I did. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy today's episode. It's such a good one. Like, I'm so excited to sit here and talk to you about this. So I think without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So I thought I would start with my fitness journey and a bit about how I've got to where I am now in terms of fitness. Now, I want you guys to know that when I've really only started getting into fitness properly for the past maybe 2 years. When I was younger, all I can ever remember was being kind of the bigger girl in the room. I was never the sports person. I was never anything like that. I went through secondary, and that's when I kind of started getting into the gym, but it was purely just for looks. It was like, I bought like waist trainers, you know, the stupid things. Like, it really started then for me in terms of getting into fitness, but it was for the wrong reasons. And I think I've definitely felt that as I've like evolved my fitness journey, those kind of roots are still there. And then I would say like 3 years ago, I really started getting into the gym again for really the wrong reasons. And I went down the whole path of like exercising obsessively twice a day, my fitness pal, extremely low toddler like calories, and just really exercising because I thought that was the only way to change how you look, when in reality there are so many other aspects of that. But I was in the gym for the wrong reasons, basically. And over the past, I would say 2 years, I've been on such a journey of discovering what movement I really like. You guys know I do high rocks and I love it. And moving my body because I enjoy it and not just to change how I look. I love movement. I'm such an advocate for regular movement. I think it is incredible for your mind and for your body. And I'm at a place now where I'm exercising because it feels good. I'm not exercising to punish myself or to change the way I look or to burn calories. And it has taken me so long to get out of that place. And I think when you're exercising from a place of punishment, it is first of all so harmful against your body. It stresses your body out. I know that when I was doing so much exercise. I was like, I don't want to bring in the whole cortisol thing, but I was stressed. My body was stressed, and you could see that in me, and I felt it. I was exhausted. I just wasn't happy, and doing too much exercise, I've learned the hard way, isn't good. Too much of a good thing is bad. And yeah, it's taken me a long way. So I obviously, when I was younger, I wasn't really into fitness, got into it really excessively, and I've just gradually come out of that, and I'm exercising in ways that my body likes and I like. So I love walking. You guys know, if you follow me, if you've been following my 75 hard, you know that I love a walk, especially in the morning. I find it so calming for your nervous system. It's not too strenuous on your body, and I love them. I do love my Hyrox, but I don't need to love my Hyrox every single day because, again, too strenuous on my body. So I do like my runs, but I'm not doing them every day, and I'm not doing them to burn calories. I'm doing them because I want to be better and I enjoy them. And what I found is that struck a really nice balance for me in terms of having the slower movement, the more like low impact movement with the intense stuff, because I enjoy the intense stuff and there's definitely benefits of the intense stuff. But I found like a really nice balance. And I think it's so important to have that balance, because if you're doing too much of any form of exercise, it's not going to be good on your body, and your body likes a balance, your body likes variety. So really, I've taken the past kind of year or two to really work out the movement that I like. And again, exercise is like, some people just won't like it. And obviously sometimes I wake up, like I went for a run this morning, and when I woke up, I didn't really want to do it, but I did it, and I know that I planned it, and I wasn't doing it from a place of punishment, and my body wasn't really tired. I knew, you've planned this in, Abby, you've had enough kind of gentle days this week, and I know that my body's capable of doing it. Whereas when you know you're tired, you're not going to perform to your best, it's not going to feel good, and it's not a fulfilling form of movement. So I feel like I'm at the best place that I have ever been with my movement, and I feel like it really shows. And I look forward to moving in different ways every single day, but I look forward to moving my body. And I want you to know that if currently it feels like you are like pushing your body too far, or you're just getting up and doing it, you don't want to do it, you don't enjoy it, or it feels boring, it doesn't need to feel like that. And I truly believe that there's a form of movement for everyone, whether that's running, whether that's walking, whether that's Pilates, yoga, swimming, cycling. There are so many forms of movement. And that is why I will never go out here and say like, follow my workout split, because everyone's different. And you might not enjoy my workout split, so I wouldn't give it to you. I think everyone's different, and everyone is going to enjoy different forms of movement. And yeah, my fitness journey has been such a big contributor to my glow up, because I'm now at a place where my body is just calm, and my body moves in good ways, in ways that it wants to, and not because it's forced to do things that it doesn't. And as soon as I switch from that mindset of exercising to burn calories, exercising just to change the way I look, to exercising because it feels good, it fills my cup, it makes me feel happy, honestly, I feel so much better mentally and physically. I'm not exhausted, I'm energized. And yeah, I wanted to start with that one because I think it's a really important one, but it does lead me on to the other factors as well. Now, one of the big factors of how I was able to move from a place of like exercising for punishment and exercising to feel good was nutrition. Because when you don't feel the need to burn off extra calories because maybe your diet isn't the best, or you've eaten something that you think you shouldn't have eaten, then you're only moving to feel good. You're not moving because of anything to do with your diet. I think nutrition, I agree with the saying that, fitness, exercise, being healthy is 80% nutrition, 20% what you do in the gym. Because if your diet isn't clean, and if your diet isn't healthy and what works for you and fulfilling and all of that kind of thing, if it's not right, you're going to fail in the gym. Like, that is my opinion. So even if you're exercising twice a day, but you're eating rubbishly, you're not going to see any results. Diet is the fundamental of everything. I honestly think that most things in life can be fixed with a good diet. Back when I first started in the gym, I was on the hype of very low calorie foods. Didn't matter what the ingredients were, as long as they were low calorie. So they were, like I was just gonna say, ultra processed foods, which again, I'm not shaming anyone that eats that way. It just didn't work for me, and I didn't know at the time. So in my mind, I was eating so healthy. I was like, I'm hitting my calories every single day or under. Why am I not losing weight, or why is my body not changing? Why do I feel really tired? Why do I feel sluggish? Why do I have no energy? First of all, girl, you're not eating enough. I will never let an app ever tell me how many calories I need to eat again, or even listen to calories, and I'll get onto that in a minute. But second of all, the quality of the food you're eating, babe, like, no wonder I felt rubbish and my skin was bad, because I was eating bad quality foods. And as soon as I started learning about nutrition, and that's just through literally online and whatever, and I switched to a more whole foods diet, my life changed. And again, not just for looks, my skin cleared up. I had more energy. I didn't feel tired all the time. Like, food actually felt good and energizing. Like, after eating a meal, I didn't want to have a nap. I was energized, which is how food should feel. So yeah, it was definitely very difficult for me, because as soon as you start getting into the mindset of counting your calories and thinking that an app can tell you how many you should eat and how you should split them out, and if you go over, the panic sets in. Once you're in that mindset, it's so hard, and honestly it's taken me years, like years, to get out of that, because obviously that was when I first started in the gym. So it's been such a journey, and it's been learning and accepting that calories aren't the be all and end all, and it's just the nutrients that are in the food is obviously what I look at now. But it's really hard, because obviously when you've come from a place of calorie counting, your brain still kind of counts what you're eating, and it's going to be more, because I'm not choosing artificial sweetness, for example. If I want something sweet, I just have something sweet, that kind of thing. So that has definitely been a massive journey. And I think as well, that whole path of calorie counting and really restricting, because I was overly restricting myself, led to an all or nothing mindset. And I speak to so many people, and so many people struggle with this. And it's, you're either really healthy or you're just going F it, and you're just eating whatever you want. And at first I was able to stick to my calories, of course, because it was new, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm sticking to them. And then it gets to the point where your body actually physically needs more to function, and you are just so hungry that it goes out the window. And then you have the all side of the all or nothing, which could be a weekend, you just go F it or whatever, or in the evenings you just suddenly go, I'm just going to go over my calories. I've already gone over, so I may as well eat the whole bloody pantry. Which again was a really harmful place for me to be in, and I'm sure so many people can relate. But it really leads you into that cycle of restricting and then overeating, and restricting and overeating. And it's just, again, in the same way that over-exercising is, it's so stressful on your body and your mind too. It preoccupies so much of your time thinking about food and calories and all of that kind of thing. And over the past 2 years, I finally just deleted all the apps, and I said, you know what, we're going all in with this. And I'm now at a place where I'm so in tune with my body and what it wants, and what makes it feel good. Again, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, you might see I do post my food sometimes, and it's not obviously, but it's all whole food, so I don't eat any ultra processed foods. And again, that's been a journey of learning and trying. Obviously I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat meat anyway, but I feel the best place I've ever been with food, just listening to my body and what it needs, not sticking to diet plans or what other people eat or apps, listening to when I'm hungry and when I'm full. It's as simple as that. I always go back to just, what did my great grandparents do? They didn't have calorie counters. They just listened to their bodies and were intuitive. And I feel like I'm in such an intuitive place right now, where it's so balanced, and I can eat healthy all day, most days, and I can intuitively feel when I'm hungry and I want my lunch, not just having lunch because it's a certain time and that kind of thing, but also I can go out for a meal, I can have the dessert, I can have the drink that I know has got calories in it, because I'm just at a point where I know that balance is important. And having that balanced approach reduced the all or nothing mindset. So actually, in actuality, I was able to enjoy just more variety of foods, more food all of the time, rather than just no food, then loads of food. And that again has transformed everything, because then now my nutrition is so much better. I don't feel the need to be in the gym for 2 hours burning off all the calories that I ate on the weekend. Do you see what I mean? It's a full circle approach, and that's why I always say, when people say like, what's the one thing you did and all of this, it's a whole thing, because nutrition affects the gym and the gym affects everything. So yeah, that is where I'm at now with nutrition. And again, still a learning journey. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, and I will never be perfect and never claim to be perfect, but I have learned so much about the importance of different foods, about gut health, about eating for energy, all of these things, which again, I'd love to dive into in another episode. So now when I sit down with my lunch or whatever, I'm like, that ingredient makes me feel like this, that's good for this, that's good for that. I actually just enjoy that. And it's got like a perfect balance of fulfillment, enjoyment, but purpose as well, because my food should have purpose for me and my life and the things I do. And obviously I do exercise a lot, so it's really important to have your nutrition on point and to be fueling yourself correctly. So for people that do maybe not feel the best in themselves and you're calorie counting and you may be eating kind of ultra processed foods or, you know, like high protein stuff that I don't agree with, maybe just try and incorporate some more whole foods into your body. And whole foods, if you don't know what that is, it's basically foods in their original form. So like anything that you can just buy and it's how it basically was, like how it came. It hasn't been processed. So like vegetables, fruit, just anything that doesn't have extra ingredients in. And the way that you can kind of know if something is kind of non-ultra processed is just by turning the packet around, looking at the ingredients list. Do you recognise them all? Could you find them all in your kitchen cupboard or, you know, out in a natural place? And if you can't, it's probably an ultra processed food. So yeah, I feel like that's really allowed me to be at a place now where I've got such freedom with food, but I'm also so intuitive and I know that everything is okay in moderation. But I eat just so healthy and nourishing now for my body, and that was a massive part of my glow up. And it's a hard journey going away from the whole calorie counting and restricting and that kind of side of things, but it is just such an amazing one, and I feel so much better for it. And I truly believe that most people, I believe everyone, if they did that switch that I did, would feel so many benefits. So now we're going to be talking about mindset. Now again, this is something I love to talk about, and you will see that I post a lot of stuff on my socials about mindset, about working on yourself. And this isn't something that you would necessarily think of straight away when you think of a glow up journey. You'd probably think of nutrition, you'd probably think of being in the gym, but would you necessarily think about working on your mindset? Probably not. And again, this wasn't one that I kind of thought of straight away, I guess. And I think it's just been a natural one for me, which is what's made it really nice. And in terms of where I used to be before everything changed, I had no self-worth, and that's not an exaggeration. I had no real self-care. I didn't look after myself. I had no confidence in myself, my body, in anything. Just the way I showed up for myself was completely different. And I didn't have any idea what self-improvement was. I don't think many people did back then, but I had no idea what that was. I had no idea about working on yourself or learning new things or anything like that. Any spare time would be spent on my phone or going out. Like, I didn't know the things obviously that I do now. And I think when you don't have any self-worth, or you're not looking after yourself, and you're just not taking that extra care with yourself, you're not giving yourself that 5 to 10 minutes in the evening to just do your skincare and wind down and drink some water. The first thing you do in the morning isn't going to sunlight and having a gulp of water, it's going on your phone. Just these little switches that you don't realise make a really big difference in your life. And for me, the main thing that changed all of this was just learning. So I was in a place where I knew, okay, I don't feel great about myself, and I don't want to look in the mirror and not like what I see. And I think that's such a harsh reality for so many people, and it's so sad. And, you know, like I'm saying, I've been there. You look in the mirror and you know that's not what you can be. And that's, again, not just physical. You just look at yourself. And for me, I was just like, wow, okay, I need to make a change because I'm not confident. Like, holidays are a nightmare, just all of that kind of thing. You just feel self-conscious. And when you don't have any self-worth, it leads you to make kind of self-destructive decisions in other areas of your life. And I could just notice it. I just wasn't acting in the way that I wanted to act. I wasn't making the right decisions for myself. I wasn't treating people the way that I wanted to treat people. And all of these things started adding up, and I started thinking, I just want to work on myself. And to be honest, the gateway to this, and my biggest recommendation for this, is just learning and reading podcasts. I really literally just immersed myself into it. I said, right, let's learn. Let's look at the people that I admire and that I look at and that I think, wow, they're really confident. They walk into a room and they have an aura about them. Let's learn about them and read books. And I've read so many self-development books, and I'm so happy to give you guys recommendations, and I have learned so much from everyone. And there are so many books and podcasts out there just that talk about bettering yourself, bettering your mindset. And it is so important to develop your mind and your mindset, because your mind determines how you see the world, how you feel in the world, how you feel about yourself, the way you talk to yourself, for example, in the mirror. All of these things literally determine the quality of your life. Like, your mindset determines the quality of your life. If you wake up looking for red cars, you're going to see red cars. If you wake up looking for yellow cars, you're going to see yellow cars. And I'm talking about positivity and negativity there. Like, it's a choice. And until you start working on your mindset and working on yourself and who you really want to be and who you can be in the future, you're not going to get there and you're going to stay stagnant. And I think just dedicating that time, whether it's 10 minutes in the evening or 5 minutes in the morning, to just read a bit of a self-development book, watch a podcast about an area of wellness or self-improvement that you're interested in, and just build your knowledge bank on all of these things. And it hasn't been an overnight thing for me. I've been working on myself for so long, and I learn something new every day because I read every day and I learn something new, and I think, wow, like, I want to implement that in my life, whether that's being kinder to myself, being kinder to other people, the way that I approach work, personal life. There are so many things that encapsulate like being the best version of you in terms of your mindset. And so until you start regularly working on that and developing on that, you just kind of stay stagnant and you don't know any different, and you do the things that don't really make you feel good, like going on your phone loads or treating people not very nicely. And until I started reading about the importance of how you treat others, how you treat yourself, your mindset, your view on the world, how you approach challenges, for example. Are they opportunities or are they just failures that you just get disheartened from? So many elements to self-improvement and mindset to dig into. And I just started regularly developing time. I started regularly dedicating time to just learning about myself, but learning about other people that I admire, and business people or wellness influencers that I really, really actually trusted and admired. And just, even if it was social media, like creating an algorithm that helps me learn, not makes me feel bad about myself, unfollowing accounts that made me feel bad about myself, and following accounts that made me feel good about myself and taught me things. There are so many swaps that can just change how you feel in yourself and how you feel about the world. And it all starts in here, honestly. There are just so many elements to dig into on this, and I'm not going to go into all of them today because I can't, but simple things like journaling, reading, meditating, going out in nature without your phone, these are like the fundamentals, the basics. And if you do these things, you will feel like a different person, honestly, because you're just dedicating time to looking after yourself, your brain, your mind, all of those good things. And until I started doing that, the other changes could happen, but I didn't feel good in those changes, and I still felt the same inside. And until you change your insides, your outside is never going to be better. And then moving on to the last part of what I think is a kind of fundamental area of my glow up, and that is actually going sober. Now, this is a massive topic for me, and it's a massive thing in my life, and I actually forget sometimes that not everyone is sober, because I just forget, and I don't know why. And then people say, oh, like, you don't drink, and they ask me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I love talking about this. So leading on directly from the no self-worth and the no confidence, I would regularly drink alcohol like most people do, and for me, I found it contributed to the low self-worth and the low confidence and all of those things. And I definitely found that it was a self-destructive behaviour for me. Again, this is a personal thing massively, especially alcohol. You know, everyone can tolerate it differently and uses it in different ways. And if you can enjoy it in moderation and it doesn't harm you, amazing. But for me, that was not the story, let me tell you. If anyone is watching this that knows what I was like drunk, like... It's the whole thing. And I get so many messages from girls saying, oh my gosh, like, I was the same as you and I really want to stop, but X, Y, and Z. So I want to address some of those X, Y, and Zs today, but I just want to talk a bit about me and my journey with it. So I obviously drank like everyone did when you're younger, and I found that for me, I struggled to, first of all, just like control myself around it, but second of all, it just didn't make me feel good. And I always knew that, but because it was the normal thing to do, I just went with it. I don't know, I had no self-worth and really no kind of self-care anyway. So waking up being hungover and just lying in bed all day wasn't really like that much different to what I wanted to be doing and what like I would usually be doing anyway. Whereas as soon as I started working on my self-worth and who I really wanted to be and envisioning the future that I wanted, I'd do all this work, let's say, throughout the week. Then it would get to Friday and I'd get blackout drunk, and then I'd be hungover all weekend, and I was like, wow, like, this feels really unaligned with who I want to be. It just felt like if I wanted to carry on drinking, fine, but my life was not going to go where I wanted it to go, because I was sacrificing my time, relationships, everything, for this one thing that just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel good in my body. And again, that's something so important. Like, listen to your body, because it will tell you when something isn't right for you, whether that's a relationship or like a substance like alcohol, for example. So I just knew, when you just know, I just knew. But I carried on because it was the norm. All my friends drank. So it was not, my family drinks, it was not something that I thought I could give up, if I'm being honest. And I'd always try moderation, okay, just wondering whatever, it would never work. And the thing for me is as well, alcohol was a gateway for bad decisions. Because I had low self-worth, alcohol would just make those decisions tenfold. So instead of like being able to have a bit of control about what I would do, alcohol would just make me act in ways and do things that just really weren't nice to myself or to other people, whether that was arguing with people I loved or just saying things or doing things that just weren't what I would do sober, obviously. And people always say that, and that's not normal. Like, I wanted to know that everything I was doing and every interaction I had with someone is 100% something I'd be confident in, and alcohol just wasn't letting me do that. And it was just destroying my self-care, because it just, I'd go to simple things like going to bed with my makeup on and just feeling gross, and not eating well, and it makes you like so many things that, guys, you're not silly, if you drink alcohol. And I just, like I said, it just didn't feel aligned with me anymore. And I wanted to give it up for so long. And this is where I just really want to help people on, because I wanted to give it up for so long because I knew I didn't like it. And every time I drink, I do something that I regret or hurt someone I love. And I just kept thinking, like, I need to stop this, but how? All my friends drink. Every time we go out, we're going out to drink, or, a bottomless brunch, or my partner, when we go for a date, I'm not going to be able to drink. Like, it just, Christmas, like simple things like that scared me. And I just thought, all my friends drink. I'm just not going to be able to do it. And I tried so many times and failed. Like, the amount of times I tried to quit drinking and I failed, guys, is like laughable. Well, it's not, because I was trying. Or I'd say, guys, I'm not drinking tonight. You've all got the friend, I'm not drinking tonight. 6 shots down, 5 glasses of Prosecco, and I'm on the table. I just couldn't make a boundary and stick to it. And it started getting worse. The nights were getting more blackout. The decisions were getting worse. The people I was hurting were getting worse. I was falling out with friends, family. And honestly, do you know what's weird? I can't remember the time that actually stopped. Like, that's really weird. Anyway, and then one day I just went, I'm actually doing it this time. And I'm not drinking. And I remember my parents were like, yeah, right, you said this so many times. And they'd worry about me when I drink, obviously, because I was just so erratic. And they were like, yeah, right, like, you're not doing that. And then, yeah, I'm here now, like, a year later. It's, what are we in, November? I haven't had a sip of alcohol the whole of 2025. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I don't even think about it. Like I said, I forget that other people actually drink. I feel amazing. Obviously, I never hungover. I never have to worry about decisions or ways that I've treated people because I was drunk, because everything I do, I'm sober, I'm 100% conscious, and I've got 100% confidence in the actions and the decisions I'm making. It's amazing. And it changed my life. And until I went sober, I couldn't fully work on my confidence and my self-worth, because I'd work on it, like I said, Monday to Friday, I'd be amazing. And then on the weekend, all my decisions suddenly were in contrast to what I really wanted to be and who I was trying to be. So until I cut out alcohol, I couldn't become the best version of me. And it has honestly changed my life in so many ways, my relationships. I've just been able to do so much more with my life without alcohol, and it was hard. It is hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy decision, and it's not an easy thing to do, especially at the beginning when you're going out and you have to say no. And a lot of that involves maybe not putting yourself in those situations at first, or just knowing that you might have to leave early sometimes, because obviously after like midnight, I'm getting tired now. I haven't got the shots to keep me going. So there are just adjustments in life, but they make for so much better benefits. I come home early, yeah, but that means I get to get up early and maximise my whole weekend to work on myself and do things that I really love and that really fill my cup, that don't make me feel bad afterwards. So there are so many benefits to it, and to say it changed my life genuinely isn't an understatement. It really did. And I'm so proud of myself for doing it and sticking to it and setting a boundary and actually saying, I'm sticking to this. If you don't want to be my friend because I don't drink, you're not my friend anyway. And yeah, I did lose friends because they weren't friends, they were drinking buddies. We'd only ever go out together and make silly decisions together and get drunk. So if you're losing those people, then like goodbye anyway, because like you don't really need them anyway, do you? They're not friends. And it's revealed to me the true friends, the friends that went, oh, okay, that's fine, we can just go and do this instead, or sure, I won't drink tonight either. Or most people that I actually tell say, oh, really? I'd quite like to do that. And you'd be surprised the amount of people that don't enjoy drinking and that would actually support you in this. So please, if you're thinking about it, obviously message me if you want advice, but please don't let the opinions and the judgment or the perceived judgment you think you're going to get from other people stop you, because I promise you it is not as bad as you think. And I'm telling you now, like a year or whatever down the line, that it's amazing and you'll not regret it, and people that love you genuinely will stick by you and will not care a single bit. And cutting out alcohol helped with so many other areas of my life too. Like I said, my diet, obviously. It was so much easier to eat healthy because I didn't have obviously like the cravings when you're drinking, or the hangovers, or just the ups and downs with alcohol where you just like crave different things. Obviously you crave a lot of salt when you're hungover, and I just wasn't able to fully eat the diet I wanted to when I was drinking. My skin, when I was drinking alcohol, my skin just, and my face just wasn't right. It just didn't look like me, you know. And I'd look at myself the next after drinking and think like, you don't look like yourself, Abby. And I didn't. And now I really feel like I've gotten my glow back, as you know, after I cut out alcohol. And a lot of people do tell me that. And just my confidence, like I'm just so much more confident in myself now, and that is thanks to all of this. That's thanks to my diet, that's thanks to my fitness and my movement, that's thanks to working on my confidence and working on myself and showing up as the person that I want to be. And it's thanks to cutting out alcohol as well, because the confidence to go into a room and not need alcohol. I always kind of did feel like I needed alcohol to kind of just, I don't know, give me if I was nervous, or give me that little like boost, and you know, you just feel a bit better. Whereas now I've had to go into those situations where ordinarily I would have had a drink, or a lot of people have a drink to calm their nerves, and just be me, no alcohol, just the nerves. And that has done so much for my confidence and my self-worth and just everything, because now I can show up into a room, I don't need alcohol, I don't need anything, and I can just talk to people. And that has been really transformative for me. So it has definitely transformed my confidence in that area of me as well. And it's just been amazing, and I love talking about it. And if you guys want me to do a separate episode on it, I definitely am happy to do that. But yeah, that is it for today's episode, guys. I really, really hope you enjoyed that. That is like me in a nutshell, really, and like everything that I've been through. And I'm sure I've forgotten things, but I feel like those were the 4 areas of my life that I really worked on and really made the most difference for me. So if any of that resonates with you, or if you're thinking, I would really like to do that, or I don't know, you know, I feel like I don't feel quite aligned in my life right now, like this is your sign that you can change it, and there are so many ways to do that. And please drop me a message, and I'm more than happy to give you advice and help. Obviously, if you want it, I'm not qualified, I'm not like whatever, but yeah, I'm so glad that you guys are here, and thank you so much if you've gotten to the end of today's episode. I love you so much, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.